Good morning. It's Thursday. I have Melissa Radcliffe here, principal of Tillamook Junior High School. Before we start our interview, I just want to remind everybody that I'm giving away pizza prize packs this month from Papa Murphy's. Congratulations to Ina Salo, who won yesterday. Remember, it is one winner per household, and all prizes must be redeemed by October 31st. So stay tuned, listen, and win a pizza prize pack today. Sorry, Melissa, you cannot win because you were here.
Nuts.
Adam Schwinn's been in here a couple times last week. He's like, wait, can I call while you're doing it? No. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome back. We were just saying before we went on the air that it's been about a year since you've been in here.
Yep, about that.
Yeah. What's going on over at the junior high?
Oh, well, lots of good things are going on at the junior high.
I know, we're a month and a half in.
About a month and a half in. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we're at first progress report time is coming right up. And so, just kind of getting things back in the groove, and it's going well. Things are going well. We have a couple of fun things going on over there. First one would be Salmon Watch. So this is our annual science-based field trip that we take with our 7th graders. It's the 16th, and
So
they're
next
going to go
Tuesday.
next Tuesday. Yep, they're going to go up the Trask River, and we work with Claire Thomas, who is our school district natural resource coordinator.
Yep.
And he brings the natural resource kids from the high school,
Oh, cool.
and they come and lead a lot of the stations and things. So kids learn about the riparian zone. They learn water quality. They even get a little part in Lawrence Pond to do some fishing. It's just kind of a cool thing.
Per my weather app,
Yes.
Tuesday is supposed to be. In fact, per my weather app now, that's like 5 days away. So who knows?
Yes.
But my weather app shows mostly sunny through next Wednesday, which is kind of exciting.
That is nice. The teachers will be the most excited about that because,
And Monday and
standing out in the
Tuesday
rain.
shows high 60s, which is pretty warm for us for October. So that's exciting.
Nice. Yeah, October. I've always thought that we should go later into June and then start later in September and October because this is
Start
when
a
it's beautiful
petition.
here.
I will sign it.
Yes, I'm all about it.
Well, we were just saying that, like, especially this year in August, we've kind of felt like we got gypped out of summer a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
end of August is some of our, end of August and September, those are some of our best summer days. And it was smoky.
Yeah.
And not fun to be outside, and people's eyes were itching and noses were itching, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was not the end of summer
No.
hoorah that we wanted.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I would sign that petition because June weather is hit or miss. If it's going to be
Very
nice.
much so. Very much so. Yeah, but we can always usually count on August and September to be nice, and October's nice. And then there's
the
that
kids
weird
get antsy in September too when it's nice outside,
They
and then they're
do.
inside. Yeah.
Yeah, it's as if you've been there.
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah.
So cool. They're going to go, and it should be beautiful weather, which will be nice for them.
Yep, and that'll be good. The other fun thing that we have coming up, we are going to have our 2nd annual zombie run. We're adding a card component to it, so for points and prizes and things. So this is part of Jamie Dixon's plan to take over the world and to maybe just the county, but take over for...
I kind of feel like you're right.
Yeah. For getting our kids and our community more active, more fit. So he started raising money for the Ginger Memorial
Years
fitness trail.
ago,
Years
with
ago.
a splash and dash.
Yep. And we
Gosh,
still
like
do
5
that.
years ago, maybe? 4?
At least that.
Yeah, 5, 6 maybe.
Yep. And that's always in April, usually. I think it was the 22nd this last year. Raising money to pave around the junior high and do some stations. Now he's expanded his reach over into East School. And so he's still working on that. And then he'd like to get, fitness trails around all the schools so that kids can get out and move, as we know that's really important for kids and their development and things.
Right.
So this is actually a fundraiser. So kids that get pledged $10, so however they get their $10 can come in. We as the staff get to dress up like zombies, which was super fun.
Because you guys, I would say you guys did this last year.
We did. We're changing it up a little bit though, in that we're adding this point card component to it. And so they'll actually run through zombie pits instead of us chasing them, because what we found is that they're faster than we are.
Sure.
And we're outnumbered.
Well, they're faster, and they probably have a little bit more stamina, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they can run a little bit longer.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Those of us in our 40s and 50s are sort of wheezy as we're out there doing this. But we got our licks in. It was pretty good last year. So, and another component that we're adding, trying to get some community involvement and also more fun, is as they go through with their cards, if they get tagged by a zombie, they have to give up their card. But then there'll be two places along the tour around the outside of our fitness trail that they can get cards from people who are dressed like doctors and police officers and firefighters and things like that. So if we could have some doctors and nurses and people from the community to be part of that, it would be pretty awesome. So that is October 30th. Starting at 2 p.m. for the junior high side of things. We're also having East School is having their kids do just kind of a fun run that day too, and they'll be in the morning. So really looking forward to that. That one's going to be a hoot and a half.
Yes, and you guys had what's the prize or what's the not prize? What's the end? Last year you had to kiss a pig.
Yeah, I've only heard one mention of that. So yes, it was a competition between East and the junior high, and he's no longer in the community, so I'll talk bad about him. JP Richards is a weasel, and we just went straight money raised for this whole thing. Well, he has 3 grade levels in his building, and I have 2 grade levels in my building, but we ended up getting everybody. So Kara Rhodes, who was the dean at the time for East, and JP, they all kissed the pig, and he was a very sweet little animal. So it wasn't too bad. So now we have David Miller, who's the principal across the street at East, and Lonnie Eggert is his dean.
Yes.
And so I'm going to assume that there's going to be people that would like to see Lonnie and Mr. Miller pucker up and kiss a pig too. So I'm sure there'll be some tomfoolery that will be roped into.
Tomfoolery. There are other things you could do. You could duct tape the loser to the wall or something. Like the kids could each get a piece of duct tape.
That would be because
if someone's listening,
someone is going to make me do such a thing, and I don't want to. So stop talking.
Okay, duly noted. Well, that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
If you drive by that area on the 30th around 2:00, you might see some craziness happening. It's okay. No need to call emergency services.
Right.
It's all under control.
All in good fun, and we will look particularly haggard that day.
I'm sure. So, yeah. Go ahead.
What we found last year was that we actually the staff looked more like zombies the day after the zombie run because we were all sore from chasing those kids all around the schoolhouse. So we walked a little more stilted like zombies the day after, not really the day of. So
sure.
That was fun.
But this year you'll be in pits, so you won't have to do much running, right?
Correct. We've now changed the rules so that we can maybe have a fighting chance and they can't just, rush us. There'll be certain pits where they'll have to run through and we'll be able to get them. So
should be a fun time.
We're thinking of our knees and hips and things too as we worry about this.
Are the kids excited about it again?
I think so. Yeah. We're gearing up for a dance that's coming up on the 26th, and so in our discovery groups, they're building scarecrows. As our first competition
cool.
and doing things to help do the decorate for the dance and just to harvest dance and all that stuff. So we just keep them pretty busy and lots of fun things going on in there to really build the community.
Yeah, and engage them in the activities.
Absolutely. Yeah, because kids that are involved do better. And so,
absolutely. So then let's talk about discovery since we're talking about that. Okay. Well, actually, let me take a quick break real quick.
Sure.
Right now, I'm going to give away a pizza prize pack to Papa Murphy's. That's a lot of P's. First caller, 842-4422, is going to win a large free jack-o'-lantern large pizza and 1 pound of chocolate chip cookie dough. It is 842-4422, Papa Murphy's pizza prize pack. Call right now. First caller. Okay, that was my quick little break.
All right.
So, Discovery's program. Can we talk? Is that what it's called? Discovery?
Discovery.
Discovery.
The Discovery program.
Can you give us a high-level overview of what the intention of the program is and then kind of go into how it's been working?
Sure.
Okay.
So we, Wilson River, Rachel Sipp at Wilson River, she was the principal there. She had come across this program that talks about giving kids the skills to advocate for themselves, to manage their anger, to manage conflict, manage conflict, to work on communication skills, transactional analysis, as far as, how to stay in whichever mode to communicate, all these things. And as a way to give kids the skills they need to be successful, not only at school, but then into their futures, whether that's a job or, starting post-secondary education, into college, adulthood. Whatever it is, into adulthood, how to deal with all of this. And so part of that is giving the kids the skills. The bigger piece of it is to build community because one of the main things we're working on as this whole school district is attendance, to improve our attendance rate. We want 95% attendance, just like the state. That's what we're asking for. Because I can hire the very best teachers, have the very best program, and if we can't get the kids there, then it's really all for naught.
Right.
Okay. So it's really become a major focus, for us, as it always has been. But Discovery is the vehicle that we use for that. So the kids have their Discovery groups, and I have this year a 7th grade team of Discovery teachers and an 8th grade, and the 7th grade Discovery team not only has the kids for Discovery, but then also they are the 7th grade teachers for that grade level. So we split the school kind of according to grade level teams. That's how we're doing our professional learning communities. So we can say, okay, here's a student that seems to be struggling. Who knows what's going on? Who has a relationship with this student and a relationship with the family to be able to reach out, offer help, find ways to connect with them, to connect them with resources within our community. And so it's about having good relationships. They do things like in the mornings they'll have something called Circle Up, and basically that's where the kids come together. It's a safe space, where they say, their name, and on a scale of 1 to 10, kind of where they are, how they're feeling. And so 1 being it's the worst day you've ever had in your whole life, and 10 being this is the best place I've ever been. I can't imagine being anywhere else. Like, this is amazing. And then if a kid is normally running at a 7 or an 8, how a lot of kids are, ask them why are you at that level? If then a month and a half in, the kid says, I'm at a 2. Well, that gives us a way to follow up with the kid that day and to say, what's going on? How are things? And also for the other students to get some empathy for what a lot of the things that their classmates are going through that maybe they've never thought of. And so that's really what it is. It's community building. So it's community building as a school, but then also in their Discovery families to do that. And then the other component is if something's going on, we're really trying to have the kids become the problem solvers. So if a student is having trouble in class paying attention or using their attending skills or working as a team or whatever it is, it's a way for the teacher to, just like if we were in a meeting and I was on my cell phone not paying attention. If you just kind of looked over and said, hey, Melissa, like, oh, gosh, yeah, thank you. No drama, no fuss. It's just kind of a little bump in the road reminder like, hey, we need to get back on track. That's kind of the component within the classroom. So if they get a couple of those little redirects to say, hey, get this back on track, then they would have the teacher and the student would have a hallway conference just to say, hey, I want you in my class. I need you in here. What do you need in order to get back in? And the student can come up with some things like, oh, I didn't sleep very well. Maybe if I just walk down the hallway and back for a minute, maybe I can go to a drink of water. I'm really having a hard time. Something happened at home. Can I go talk to my counselor? The students come up with the ways that they need to manage themselves and get back on track. And hopefully that's where it ends. Hopefully that's the end of it and the kid can get back on. If not, then they would be able to say, I want you back in my class, but it sounds like you need to go do a problem solver and figure out what's going on. And that's when they would be sent down to the dean or myself, either Lisa Coughlin or Jamie Dixon, or sharing that duty this year, to come down and write it out. What's going on? How can we support you? And
they're at that age where sometimes, sometimes I'm in a bad mood and I don't know why. You know what I mean? We all have those moments, but we're adults and we can. I was in a bad mood last week at some point where I wasn't in a bad mood. I just felt like everybody needed something from me and I was like stressing out and freaking out about it. And I just had a moment to myself where I said, okay, relax. Everything will get done. But kids don't have that. Their brains aren't fully developed in that way where they can take a moment to stop and say, this is what the root problem is and it's causing all these issues. Whereas adults, maybe we have a little bit more sense and our brains are developed more to do that. So teaching them how to do that is awesome.
Right. And that's the whole point, is that we are trying to give them and teach them the skills that they are going to need to be successful in that and to handle things in an adult way. Really saying, this is what I need. Here's something that I'm struggling with. How do we go about that? Because we do. All of us have times when we're not at the best or whatever. And we have to be able to know that. And as adults, like I know if I start getting stressed out, my ears get hot, my heart starts to race.
Yeah.
I can feel my brain starting to flip and go into a mode that I don't want to be in. But oftentimes kids don't, and especially at this age, they don't know what's happening within their bodies.
Right.
They're not very well in tune with what's going on with that. And so it gives them a moment to take a breather and to kind of check in and say, man, I am kind of getting stressed out. I am too amped up. I do need to take a break. Maybe I need to stand in the back of the room. What they come up with solutions to try and manage so that they can move forward, which are the skills that as adults we use. And through our experiences, we figured out. But
Right, exactly.
Intentionally teaching them the skills so that they can be successful, because that's what we want.
Right.
We want them all in the schoolhouse. We want them all to be successful. We want them to keep as many of their options so that when they do get out of the junior high, when they do get out of the high school, they have not, with behavior or choices or different things, taken valuable options off of their plate. Based on that. We want all kids to have as many options as possible when they walk across and get that diploma. Yeah. And then able to move forward and have lots of choices and options of what they want to do.
And the high school does this discovery program as well, right? So they're getting, if they start, like, let's say last year's 7th graders are going to have 6 years of practicing these things then, right?
Right.
That's great.
Yeah. And again, it's really to treat them like adults, to say, again, kind of give I think of it as rumble strips. Like if you're cruising to Portland, and your goal is to get to Portland. Right. Sometimes, there along Gales Creek, you've been driving for a while, you start getting a little drifty. And if you go over on the side and it goes, kind of rumbles you a little. Oh, hey, I'm not tracking very well. I need just a little reminder to get back on track.
That's a great analogy.
That is what this is. And it's helping them understand this is what adults do.
Right.
This is,
well, and like I said,
those reminders.
They're obviously, the 7th graders that did it last year are not going to be perfect at it. So they're going to get 6 years to practice that to hopefully, and like you said, as adults who didn't have this program, we just figured it out on our own, but that's a little bit harder to figure it out on your own and be attuned to what your body is doing and your brain is doing and how you get stressed out and what stresses you out. Right. And you get sleep and not eating and all that kind of stuff affects all that.
And I would say right now with a lot of, this is also a piece of it, is with all the political strife and all the things that are going on with different people and all those things. Yes, social media. How do we increase our adult level discourse to be reasonable and civil and listen to other people's ideas and be good communicators without throwing gasoline on everything that we come in contact with. So I think that's another component of it is we're trying to give these kids the skills so that they can actually hopefully be better at it than we are. Yeah. As we move forward right now. So it's a really good program. It's a way that as we've been working on our trauma-informed practices as a district, as we've been talking about ACEs, adverse childhood experiences, how we treat kids, how we respect kids, how we listen to kids based on that. Discovery is truly a concrete it's a program that we can use and a framework we can use to help them get there. So we all understand trauma-informed practices. Kids come to us with lots of baggage and lots of things all the way through. And then this is a concrete way that we as a school and into the high school and at Wilson River School, they also do it, a way that we can intentionally teach the skills to help the kids move through all that.
So it's been working out well, I assume, at the junior high.
It is. And I think, last year was the first year we did it school-wide. It started as a program at an alternative high school in Colorado. And so we've had to adjust it and morph it to be mainstream. So this scalability from a very small program and all that to something that would be more mainstream. We are figuring it out as we go. And last year there were times it was like, this is not working right. This isn't, but we believed, and as a staff, we believed in the backbone of it and the premise of it. And now we're continuing to tweak it and make it better so that it fits with us and as we're moving it forward. Awesome. Yeah. And actually tomorrow, no school tomorrow, the Tillamook School District, because as secondary people, we actually have one of the authors of this and the guy who discovered did this. He is coming, Eric Larson is his name, and he's coming in from Colorado to run our in-service. So the junior high has him for half a day, and the high school in Wilson River have him for the other half of the day to check in and say, where are we with this? What are the issues you're running into? How can we troubleshoot this? Whatever. And he's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we're really excited about it. And it's how it's the vehicle we're using to make sure we're doing our trauma-informed practices that we've been studying for the last 4 or 5 years.
Good update.
Thank you.
That was a really good update.
Thank you.
I'm going to take a quick break. We're going to talk about TBCC. The Tillamook Bay Community College Foundation would like to invite the community to the annual Mildred Davie Memorial Scholarship and Recognition Luncheon on October 18th, which is next week, at noon at the Tillamook Church of Nazarene. Join them for a catered lunch as they recognize the 2018-2019 scholarship recipients and thank the generous donors who made it all possible. Program will include recognition of scholarship recipients and speakers Dr. Ross Tomlin, who is the Tillamook Bay Community College president, and Janet Rydell, benefactor of the Art and Janet Rydell Endowed Scholarship. Tickets are $15 a person, and RSVP was required by yesterday, but I'm pretty sure you could probably call today and still get in. To RSVP, please call 842-8222, extension 1025. This event is generously sponsored by TLC Fiber Federal Credit Union, Tillamook Country Smoker, Judson Randall, the Nearspace Corporation, and Stratus Wealth, Ted Erickson, CFP. So I'm talking with Melissa Radcliffe, who is the Tillamook Junior High principal. You said there's no school tomorrow, but then there's also no school at the end of the month because there's parent-teacher conferences.
Exactly. So that's a little bit of an odd schedule because of Halloween. And so, we have folks that want to take their kids out, teachers that want to take their kids out. And we know that, there's not too many parents are going to show up at the schoolhouse on Halloween night. So we've worked around that. So how that will work is on the 30th, which is a Tuesday, same day as the zombie run. We will teach normal. Kids will be there until, the end of the school day. And then teachers will then have prep and able to get ready for conferences, get things put together, all of that. And at the elementary level, they actually schedule their conferences with particular parents at certain times. Once you get to the junior high and the high school, parents can drop in at their convenience, pick up a kid's schedule, and then go talk to the different teachers as they go around there. So that will begin October 31st at noon because we also have in-service that morning at the secondary level.
Gotcha.
So there's 4 hours there on October 31st, noon to 4, where we'll be available for parent-teacher conferences. And then, obviously, that's Halloween after that.
Yes.
And then the next day, November 1st, will be the long haul that goes from basically 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. To have parents who need to get in either before work or then after work. We'll have some time to do that. And then based on those 2 extra long days, the Tuesday and the Thursday, then there's nothing on Friday. Nothing on Friday the 2nd. So that's pretty typical for us, so that we can have
that's a lot of
people.
That is a lot of talking too. You almost need that extra day to just decompress and not stay in your house and not talk to anybody.
Exactly. That's usually what happens.
That's a lot of emotion and brain power to talk to for 12 hours to people. That's a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's an important
And we should
time.
say that schedule, that's the junior high schedule.
This is the junior high schedule, correct. And the high school will be different, and the elementaries might be subtly different because they have different in-service. It's a little bit different. But that's for us. So again, we want to reach out to parents. We want to be teammates in this.
Yeah.
This is interesting ages as we go through, and again, it's part of building community. We're all on the same team. We want these kids to be successful now and moving forward. And so working together, we can make that happen.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, great updates today. It was good to see you. Was there anything else you wanted to mention?
Again, I don't think so. I think those were the main things. We're just having a good time and doing our thing and starting to get into the throes of the school year and getting things figured out. So we've had the sports teams going and doing their thing too. So volleyball's wrapping up, football's wrapping up next week. Cross country's been doing amazingly well at the junior high. Again, active kids and kids who are involved in things. We have speech. We've hired a couple great new teachers who are here doing their thing. have a chess club. I mean, we're just trying to find
Which
ways
I
to
think
connect
went
with
to,
kids.
was it the elementary chess club, or is it a chess club for the whole district?
There's all the schools have a chess
Didn't they go
club
to state last year or something? Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, through Chess for Success is the name of the group. Jim Cox out at Trask River High School is the one who really is kind of a lightning rod for that, and so now it's spread throughout the rest of our schools, and we're just trying to find different things that are going to intrigue kids.
Yeah, because
get them to plug
some
in.
kids are not into sports, but
Correct.
maybe they're into chess, or maybe they're into, I don't know, building robots or something.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and so that's what we try to do.
Cool.
Find avenues for kids to be successful and to get involved.
Yep. Cool. Let's see. Tomorrow we will have folks here from the Year of Wellness. Don't forget, senior meals, noon every weekday at the Kiowanda Community Center in Pacific City, as well as the Tillamook Senior Center at 4th and Stillwell. Cost us $3 for seniors and $6.75 for everyone else. Don't forget, candidate forums next Tuesday at Rockaway City Hall at 6 p.m. There will be a candidate forum. Saturday night is the annual Food Roots Pie Night at Pacific Restaurant. Doors open at 6:30. Pie auction starts at 7. Tickets are $10 for adults and $5 for youth under 12. The annual Kathy Stevens Boxing Out Hunger Memorial Show will be at the fairground Saturday. The doors open at 5. Boxing begins at 6. Cost is $10 plus 3 non-perishable food items. This event is sanctioned by the United States Amateur Boxing League, I think. Old House Dahlias is having a pumpkin patch 10 to 5 on Saturday and Sunday. They are on Highway 101 south of Tillamook in Pleasant Valley. And not only do they have a pumpkin patch, I think it's 2 acres, but then they also have, have you ever driven by there?
I have. It's
the
gorgeous.
dahlias are insane.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So pick up some flowers and a pumpkin. And then obviously the Kilches Pumpkin Patch and Corn Maze also starts this weekend. They are noon to 5 Saturday and Sunday out on Kilches River Road at the Hydrangea Ranch. And happy birthday to Daniel Reed. Melissa, thanks again for coming in this morning.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And thank you, Tillamook, for listening.